Hi, I'm back with another Commodore 64 review. This time it's Neutron from Sarah Jane Avory. The game was developed as part of the RGCD 16K competition, so as you can probably guess, the game was developed to actually fit into just 16K of RAM. The intention is for the game to be released on cartridge in the near future, but the developer Sarah is actually planning on expanding the game to use a lot more memory in the near future. As you can see, the game's a vertically scrolling arcade shoot 'em up. It's inspired by the arcade classic Starforce, which is a personal favourite of mine going back to the early 80s. I remember playing this on holiday when I used to go to North Wales as a kid. I was always bumping in a lot of 10p's into the machine when I was younger. It's a typical vertically scrolling sort of shoot 'em up affair. Plenty of aliens to lay waste to, power-ups, end of level bosses, typical sort of bullet hell shoot 'em up. Pattern based, so as long as you can remember what's coming and where they're coming from, you can quite learn to master the game quite easily. Plenty of levels. I think there's about 16 levels in this version, although I'm probably corrected on that one. Bosses at the end of each level, and considering the game is actually crammed into just 16K, there's a lot of variety and depth in it. The bosses themselves is basically just pumping as many bullets into each one as you can. There's no sort of special weapons as such, just plenty of power-ups, increased firepower and so on. But considering what's actually the memory restrictions for the game, there's a lot in there. Plenty of animated graphics. There's several pieces of music. There's in-game music, title tunes. There's a couple of different in-game pieces of music, and it's an incredibly polished, addictive game. I mean, you can see from the game itself. I mean, it's very polished. I mean, this could quite easily be released commercially if the back in the day on the Commodore 64, and in fact it is actually going to get a commercial release. It's available online as a free download, although it is suggested that you make a small donation to Sarah when you do download the game. The amount itself is up to you. There's a minimum suggested donation of $2. It's worth a lot more than that, so if you do want to pick the game up, you can suggest your own sort of level of donation. I've obviously donated much more than that because it is a fantastic game. The download is as a disk image file. It works quite happily on the C64 Mini because it's and through any good emulator. It's, I mean, this was actually captured from the C64 Mini, so as you can see, it works a treat on that. And it's an incredibly addictive game. It's one that you will certainly keep coming back to playing over and over again. And to be frank, it's one of the little C64 surprises that kind of just completely came out of the blue. I mean, as you can hear right now, the music's changed as you got to the first end of level boss. There's a lot of diversity in the levels. For anyone who was familiar with Starforce, you'll love the downloading this, playing this, hopefully as much as I did. If this is what Sarah could actually do with just 16K, I cannot wait to see the more expanded sort of version that's going to be obviously use a lot more memory for the 64K version. The amount of variety in the visuals, the sound, both the background, visual-wise, both the backgrounds, the sprites, and diversity in the gameplay is incredible just for a 16K game. Hitting a 64K version and having access to being able to multi-load for additional levels is going to make a bigger release absolutely incredible, and certainly something that could be a huge hit released for a bigger audience. But this is certainly a game that you cannot be without. If you love shoot 'em ups on the C64, then this is something that you cannot miss. So if you love your shoot 'em ups on the Commodore 64, then this is certainly something that you've got to go and pick up. If you yeah, the download link will be in the notes. So go get it and go and enjoy one of the best little shoot 'em ups to be released for the Commodore 64 for a long time.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click on the like button and leave us a comment below. Also, spare a moment to share this video on Twitter, Facebook, and all your social media pages. To get updates on all of our latest videos delivered straight to your inbox, subscribe now using the link on the screen.